at my shop here in Marshall, North Carolina.
Wow.
Fifth Element Camping.
So can you give me just like a brief history on how this all started for you?
Ultimately, it started with me looking for a car that I could mountain bike with. I wanted to travel with my mountain bike and ride more. And I really fell in love with the Volkswagen van again.
Oh yeah.
I think many people have fallen in love with the van again. And, 2 years into the rabbit hole of looking, went and looked at one that was 40K, saw it in person, had the Subaru conversion, all the stuff I wanted, but it still needed a lot of work. And 40K wasn't in my budget either. But that was a more affordable ones than the ones I was dreaming about.
Totally, yeah.
And in that research on the Samba forum, I saw the pop top for the Honda Element by Ursa Minor, and I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
And it was a Honda Element. I only knew it from dumb commercials. This is 2008.
Yep.
I still think their commercials are weird, but you're marketing a car, right? I remember it.
Yeah, they stuck, that's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there was all that, and once I went and looked at that Honda and I saw the inside, I was sold. I found one within 2 months. I got an 08 in 2009 and immediately scheduled my pop top install and waited 6 months in line for that.
Wow.
And man, that just opened up the interior of that car and I hit the ground running. My first build was literally in my apartment, in my living room.
Wow.
But you do what you can with what you got.
And so then how did the cabinet come about in the camping system?
I mean, a lot of it was inspired by the Volkswagen van again. It had a whole cabinetry on the driver's side that makes sense to me for, not blocking views and whatnot. And I just kind of went down the rabbit hole, tried a bunch of floor to ceiling cabinets. Those didn't work out for me. And I had a boxier cabinet, but I had a hard time. I couldn't slide coolers in, and there was just all sorts of issues. And then once I hit that angle on the lower portion of the cabinet, that's when it felt right.
Right. Everything you do is beautiful, and the cabinetry and the workmanship is just awesome.
Thank you.
So I am very excited to share what's going on inside. So why don't we pop in, take a look.
Let's go inside.
Yeah, thank you.
I thank you. And come on in.
Wow. It is beautiful. What a place to work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A little over 15 years in basements doing this work. So when we bought this land in 2016, I knew I wanted something with windows. I wanted a shop that I wanted to be in, something off the ground that didn't flood constantly. All my basement shops flooded. And and they were all rentals too. So I could only do so much to a rental.
Right, yeah.
So this is the first place that I've ever owned.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So these are the driver's side cabinets. That's the first product you made, right?
The driver's side cabinets are right here. And this is the angle that I was speaking about earlier. This lower angle.
Ah, I see that.
This really changed the game for the storage in the car for me. Because with such a tight space, just every inch counts in the Element.
Yeah, totally.
And this is what we have of our current inventory. This is about the most we ever have in stock, but we're constantly building.
And you have a CNC here?
Yes, this is my CNC machine. This is a ShopBot, which is a locally produced machine. This is made right here in North Carolina.
Wow. In
Durham. It's important for me to not only support local businesses, but try and keep as much money as possible in state. I just, vote with your dollars. I think it matters. It's important. This thing's ultimately designed to run 3 shifts, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That is not how we operate it, but it's very nice to know that it has that capability and that when I do need something, whether it be a part, help, or assistance, that they're a local company.
Wow.
And these are my tool changers. So these are all my different bits. Currently am using all 9 and wish I had more.
So you can put a bit on here and it'll...
Yeah, so each one of these has a different bit in it.
Okay.
And the machine will come by and pick them up. This is a zero flute, so this is designed for plastic. And a zero flute bit ejects the chips as opposed to pushing them down with my other down cut bits.
Wow, that is awesome. And then all of like the nuts and bolts, that's all from America too, right?
Yes, yes. We got all of our hardware in here. Everything's stainless steel. Even my rubber bands are made in America. I think all of this stuff matters, especially today. And in here, we got my hinges. They're coming out of Texas. All of my latches. And then in this drawer, we've got more hardware. Again, all made in America. The one exceptions are my two 1024s. These are both made in Vietnam. I still am unable to source an American version of them.
If anybody knows where to source these, let's hit them up.
I'll find them someday.
Yeah.
And then as we continue through the shop, you know, these are just different workstations. I very much encourage my employee to make his own little pieces of kit to just make his job easier. So this is one of his workstations. Over here is usually where we're sealing product. And
Sealing, does that mean?
we're like sealing the cut edges.
Oh, like okay,
Yeah,
putting
yeah.
like varnish or something. Okay, gotcha.
And then this is the system we will be putting in your car for this weekend. And what you're looking at here is the FEC bench with a passenger cabinet. So this is the passenger cabinet base, and you can get this bench with the passenger cabinet or without.
Wow.
All of our components work individually or as a system.
And how long have you guys been in business?
I've technically been in business as a LLC for 10 years.
Wow.
10 years last month. My website went live March 14th, so yes, March was 10 years. But there was a local outdoor show here in Asheville, the Outdoor Gear Builders at that time, and they are a bunch of local companies, and so I made sure my website was live the day before, and I went there to try and get help. I didn't know they were all local companies at the time, but basically they told me that they were network, and they invited me to join. Wow. There was like 20 companies at that time. There's now over 130. But giants like Eno, they make the hammocks, they're here in Asheville. Industry 9, they make high-end mountain bike wheels. Cane Creek, lots of brands you're familiar with, but they're all made right here.
Wow. That makes me want to like look at my local businesses and see what's going around.
Yeah, I mean,
awesome.
it really matters. And you know, sometimes a local business, it'll be designed in America, manufactured somewhere else.
Sure. Yeah.
So even that's the case with a lot of Asheville businesses, but
Yeah, I mean, just the what I want to say, the craftsmanship is it's so nice. There's nothing like it out there with anything from Honda Elements, you know?
thank you.
Yeah.
And I listen to my customers. I take a lot of customer feedback. A lot of small changes has been made for customers, and I try and keep it really easy and simple. Here, this is basically backstock of what we saw in the drawer earlier. I believe everything should have a home, and it should return to that place.
I think I need you to teach me how to be organized like this. Is awesome.
I have had multiple small businesses here in town, like, will you help me get organized? And I'm like, I can tell you what I do, but I can't organize something for you because
Right.
it is yours. But I've always been under the understanding that you're either going to spend time looking for it or spend time organizing it. And having it organized makes me feel better about it. And when I'm working with other people, now they know where it is.
Right.
So everyone knows where it is.
Something about it, you come in and it's like, oh, this feels good. Like,
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
It's just like making your bed in the morning.
Yeah,
You know, you don't have to do it, but when you return to that room, like, it's much nicer.
And so where is your wood sourced from?
So ultimately, we get our plywood. These are 4x8 sheets. These are coming out of Old Fort, North Carolina. This is located within 2 hours of our house where they actually manufacture this. And it's just great. They've been a fantastic company to work with. They have interviewed me. They have sent me some of the new different types of material they've been working on and asked me to test it. So we will probably be coming out with some new material soon.
Oh, awesome.
But at this point, this has been the lightest plywood I could find. And, you know, everything's weight in the element. We all know it has a very poor cargo capacity.
Yeah. My Uber driver said this is like North Carolina is like the capital of like furniture making in America.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
Also textiles for a long time, but both of those businesses have slowly disappeared. But like Ethan Allen, it's a North Carolina business. There's a lot of furniture.
Wow.
Definitely.
Do you have that concept in mind when you started this?
No.
Yeah, it
no.
just happened to work out that way.
Honestly, I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I definitely would have done it different. I just learned lessons the hard way. But I was a one-man show for 9 years by myself, basically.
Yeah.
And it's only been in the last couple years that I've had employees, and it makes a huge difference.
What are you most proud of?
What am I most proud of? I would say the community, and that I get to be a part of it, and that, you know, when I go to an event and I see this in someone else's car, or when they come here to pick it up, you know, they've been looking at this system for years, and they show up, and it's incredible. And my employee gets to see it. Like, as convenient and wonderful it is to be able to ship this fully assembled to somebody, to have them come here, it's extra special. Like, we get to see that.
That's really cool. That's really, really cool.
My office is soundproof. I didn't build this building. I designed the building, had it built, and then we did all the interior work. But these are my cushions up here. These are made by one of my good friends in Asheville. He is also a small business. All of our fabrics are coming out of South Carolina. I'm not 100% sure where the foam comes from. We'll find out soon. But supporting him has been fantastic. And I have also recently collaborated with him on door bags.
Oh, awesome.
And most people haven't seen these. This was our very first door bag. And James, my sewer, he based this off of the like headlight and kind of part of the element. And it was nice. And then we went to this one, which is a little nicer. I'm like, I need space. I want bigger. And so we've got all the hooks for everything. But this didn't quite work for me. I liked the material, but I knew I would just lose stuff in there. I wanted to be able to see it. And there's one other version that I don't have anymore. But here is the new final version.
I like the all black.
I do too.
Yeah.
And then we went bright orange inside.
Yeah.
And we made these mesh pockets so you can see what's in here, and everything adjusts. And it's just been fantastic to work with him. This is what he does full time. He has his own bag company.
Yeah.
So I was happy when I found him and met him. And, you know, we're doing a limited run of 50 of these.
Wow, okay.
The first 25 are gone.
What I like about what I've learned about you so far is that if it's not perfect, like you're happy to like reiterate, like let's do it again, let's make it right, let's make it perfect. And everything you've shown me with the renditions before the actual finishing cabinet, it's like, that's awesome.
Yeah, nothing is the first version.
Yeah.
And I tend to like things, I make them as complicated as possible. I like throw everything at it, and then I dial it back from there. It's, you know, I think writers will do that. They'll just, you know, word vomit, put everything on the page, and then try and pull something from that. So that's generally how I work.
Do you you were showing me what was this right here? You were showing me this.
So this is our new rear door. I don't know exactly what it's going to be called yet, but I think I might just call it driver rear door. I don't know. This is the driver's cabinet. That's the passenger cabinet.
Show me.
All right. So ultimately, this replaces the plastic portion of the lower portion of the door. We're going to be on a slope here. These pop out, and this folds down.
Ah, okay.
And the door is leaned back when it's opened, so this keeps this level. And then I've got two slides here, one on each side. And so when the door is closed, now it's level inside the car.
Ah, wow.
So that's the two different heights.
That's cool. That is so cool. Look at that.
And you know, I did a lot of stuff like making sure that it clears the seats when they're forward. A lot of people ask if it works with the swivel, and yes, it does. Sorry, we're parked on a hill. Shout out to Heroes Hot Rods for the swivel. I wanted these for over a decade, and that man made my dreams come true. Not ideal with the chair, but you can operate it with just one side. So you do have the room here for your legs, but it's not an ideal height. It's more of somewhere just to put things.
Yeah, or if you're like in the back here somewhere.
Yeah.
And 5'8".
Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, no, it's really starting to rain.
Yep.
But I love this thing.
Yeah,
I'm
I
excited.
didn't even know this was going to be a thing. This is sweet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've learned over the years, if I show something I'm working on, someone else will try and do it.
That makes a lot of
Most
sense.
companies do the same thing.
Yeah.
So most of my components are like 2 parts. It's a lot of that is just for weight savings. I expect one person to be able to install this, and everything installs without tools, with the exception of the center console. And we do ship the tool kit for you to install it with. And the hardest part of installing our center console is honestly removing the OEM armrests.
Right.
Which
That makes sense.
getting to that zipper is actually the most annoying part. It's just tucked in there so tight. It's really not that big of a deal, but this is basically, I would say this is 10 years of me buying bolts and screws and different things. Like, this is everything that I have tried in a cabinet at one point or the other. And I constantly return to this now.
Wow.
But when you're doing production, you know, if you can make a part work in 3 different components, you're winning.
Yeah.
But if you've got 3 different parts and 3 different components, like, I try and make everything rather universal. And then you're here for Elements on the Dragon, and this will be my 9th year attending. And these are just 4 of the plates.
Who made those?
Those are made, it's the Deals Gap store. I can't remember the name of the place. We'll all be attending that store, though. They sell all the stickers. They do all the marketing for the Dragon, and the Dragon it's super famous. It's very famous for being a curvy road. Some people say it's the best road in the world. Others say it's in America. But I just think it's kind of comical that we're cruising this high-end road in Honda Elements.
Yeah. Is there anything else in here you want to show us?
Yes, let's go upstairs.
Okay, yeah. I'll follow. There's an upstairs.
So when I first designed this building, I kind of designed it to look like an old barn. If you can picture a barn, you know, there's the roof, and then this is the hayloft, basically. And they said, you want a deck on it? And I said, absolutely. And when my builders showed up and they saw the location, they're like,
Yep.
we get it.
Wow. Stunning, man. This is awesome.
Thank you.
This is awesome.
And so right now, we're in Marshall, North Carolina, which is in Madison County, which is just north of Asheville. Asheville is 25 minutes to our south. Johnson City, Tennessee is 45 minutes to the north. And I don't ever want to live anywhere else. I absolutely love it here. And
Makes
those are
sense.
carpenter bees. They're everywhere.
Yeah, I've seen a few.
And Miguel just gifted me this new bottle opener.
Oh, that's rad.
He got to do some Route 66 this year.
All right. Well, I mean, thank you so much for giving me a tour, and we're all super excited. Where can we purchase and buy some of your cabinet systems, and where can we find them?
Everything's at fifthelementcamping.com.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'll leave a link down below in the description, guys.
Hey,
Thank
thanks
you so
again for
much.
coming out, Steven.
Yeah, of course.